This video on the concept of product is also useful in the context of marketing, and in fact a version of this video exists in our videos on marketing. Why it's here in the context of innovation is simple really. We want to show ways in which the concept of a product can be innovative away from its physical nature and towards the services it offers, or towards how we as consumers view the product. In other words, we're widening the concept of the product, and that means that innovation can be applied across a wider range, not just focused on the product itself in perhaps a physical sense, but looking at the attributes of the product or what can be associated with the product. So any of those could be innovated, could be changed in some way. The way the service associated with the product is offered, for example. Now we'll see what we mean by this as we go through it. And as I said, it is quite a big connection with our material in marketing. For most customers, a product is seen as a tangible good. This good is normally acquired in order to satisfy a need. Now immediately we can stop here and say, well, indeed, while that is true, we can conceive of intangible products. For example, a service. If we go to a restaurant, we get a service. It's not a tangible product. It's an intangible one. It's a service. We have lots of services in our society, and indeed economists now talk liberally about we live in a service economy. So tangible goods, or the need for tangible goods, seems to have been almost satisfied. There is a constant mutation of these goods because of innovation, but the intangible that goes with them must be considered as well. A customer will choose a product based on the value of the product and the level of satisfaction it provides. That, I suppose, is a basic economic relationship. We constantly assess the value we get from goods, the satisfaction we get from goods, against what we have to pay, the dissatisfaction. And we have a type of equation, a mental equation, to deal with. The satisfaction we get from the goods versus the dissatisfaction of having to pay for it. If the satisfaction outweighs the dissatisfaction, we buy the good. If it doesn't, we refuse to buy it. However, products on offer can be complex entities. Kotler et al. In 1999 suggested that a product has three levels: the core, the secondary level, and the augmented level. So when we think of, let's say, a physical product, we can conceive of it as having three components, according to Kotler et al. When we talk about services, we are really talking here about the augmented level, or something associated with the augmented level. And you'll see what I mean as I go through the slides. Generally, a good is acquired to satisfy a need. Generally, that's why, according to economists, that's why we demand goods. We demand goods because they satisfy a need. A customer will choose a product based on the net benefit of the product, that is, on the difference between the product price and the level of satisfaction it provides. As I said earlier, between the satisfaction we get from the product versus the dissatisfaction of having to pay for it. Now, according to Kotler, Marketing Principles in 1999, products can be complex entities. In other words, they have these different layers. the core, and so on, that we'll talk about in a second. But they're not simply products. They have different dimensions, if you like, and we need to consider these. The product is seen as having three levels: the core, the secondary level, and the augmented level, as I said earlier. Now, the three levels of a product. Well, the core. This element defines the core benefits the product will provide. For example, a smartphone must be capable of making phone calls. We could argue now that our concept of a smartphone will include a lot more. The idea of messaging, perhaps accessing the internet, taking pictures, taking photos. There are many more services a mobile phone offer that we may now consider to be the core. It's not just the ability to make a phone call. But there is a secondary level. And the secondary level are the things that come with the core that will attract the customer in. So we find a product that meets our requirements, but it also does something else, which we find could be useful. So we're attracted to the product. Now, the specific offerings aimed at meeting a need, these include attributes, styling, branding, packaging. So the secondary level could be the style of the phone. We wish to impress people around us, so we have a stylish phone. That could be the case. Or it could be it's offering some additional apps or facilities that perhaps are not mainstream, but it's just nice to have them. And then finally, we have the augmented product. This enhances the product by offering additional value, guarantees, after sales care, finance arrangements. So now when we think of a product, we're thinking about it on different levels. And herein lies innovation. Innovation can cut through all of these. There's constant work on the core to see what is essential for the product. If it's a smartphone or a car or a television set or some appliance around the house, there's a constant drive to see if more can be added. Some innovation, some change to the product that will make it more attractive. But it spills out into the secondary level, into the styling of the product. And the companies try to be innovative in terms of styling. They try to be fashionable. They try to present their product in a good light. But it also could apply to the augmented level, where there's not just after sales care and finance and guarantees, but it's something else. It's the way you perhaps access these facilities. They may guarantee someone at the end of the phone 24 hours a day, 24/7. They may guarantee that if you have an issue with it, a technical issue, you can just dial a number and you'll speak to somebody immediately about the problem, and they will take you through it and help you, and if need be, replace it. It's augmented. It's something over and above. Now, all of these changes can be viewed as innovative. The company is trying to outwit its competitors. It's trying to generate sales by adding in extra facilities. And these extra facilities go with the product and, in a sense, change the product. The product is not standalone. The product has got different layers. And the company is constantly looking to see if it can improve these layers so as to generate more sales and give the customer more confidence in the product. So it is innovation. they are innovating the product. So at the core, what benefits does the product offer, or what does it provide? All products in the market exist to satisfy a need. The customer searches for a product in order to satisfy its basic need as its core benefit. Let's think about that. If we want a phone and we want to be able to take the phone with us, we're looking for a mobile phone, or as American people say, a cell phone. We're talking about taking something with us. So it must be compact, it must be small, it must be transportable. It must be able to make a phone call. So this is core. This is essential. If it can't make a phone call, it's not a mobile phone. It's a mobile something, but it's not a mobile phone. So the core must be met, however we define the core. The core product is not the tangible product. The core product is the benefit of the product that makes it valuable to customers. For example, a camera could be purchased, but its core benefit is capturing memories. So when we think of the core, we've moved on to a more psychological level. The phone, go back to the phone for a second. The phone, we buy the phone to make phone calls. We're not actually buying the phone in that case, we're buying the facility to make phone calls. Now, that's the core. That's what we really want. We want a facility to make phone calls. It so happens the phone will do that. So that's the core. That must be guaranteed. But then, as we become more sophisticated in our use of this type of technology, we may include other things in the core. We may include texting in the core. That's essential for us as well. It's a communication medium. We need to be able to text. Perhaps we need to email or read our emails. Maybe that's in the core as well. So it's no longer a phone, it's a mobile communication center. Maybe that's the core. So now we have to be careful how we define the core. List the essential benefits the product has to offer. All products in the market exist to satisfy a need. The core benefit of the product should address the need. So whatever the need is, if the need is texting, we may still buy a mobile phone, because what we really want is a texting device. It so happens the phone does it, so we buy the phone. But that makes the texting a core requirement of that product. The core product is not the physical product, as I said. It's the benefit that customers receive from the product. It's what makes it valuable to the customers, as I said earlier. Now, so the camera is capturing the memories. That's a very vague concept. So we're not demanding the camera, we're demanding the ability to capture our memories. The camera, however, may have a different lens. It may have very sharp imaging. It may have facilities to take at long range or close up, or it may have the facility to blur out the background. It may have the facility to move the image to a server just by pressing a button. So it depends on what we mean by capturing our memories. Now it's the same point as I was making about the phone. It's all part of the core. Now the secondary level, well, focus in this level is to ensure that the customer buys your product rather than a competitor's. So this is important. It's important that the product should beat the competitors. This section looks at the application of physical features that distinguishes the product. For example, packaging, size, color, texture, shape, design, special features, and so on. Now, this may involve market research to see what customers like, the colors they like, the design they like. It may involve experimentation to see what customers feel comfortable. If it's a mobile phone, what's comfortable in terms of size and their ability to use it and hold it, and so on. So this is the secondary level. But there is limited scope, but there is some scope for innovation in here, changing the style, changing around different facilities. And every time one of the major iPhone, or not just iPhone, but Samsung, one of the times when the major suppliers of smartphones change their product, they must feel they are taking some risk. They may alienate the customer. They may change the speakers from the side to the bottom. That may alienate the customers. To many people, they may think it's a small change, but to some, that may be a major change. They may change the size of the screen, or they may change the interface. Again, running the risk of alienating customers. They are innovating the product, they're changing the product, but they must change it in line with market requirements. For example, the core benefit of buying a car is the ease of driving, speed, safety, reliability. However, the second level would emphasize colour, design, and the features of the car. So the car has got two components now. It's got what it does, the functions of the car, to safely transport us from one place to another. But then it's got the second level, to transport us in comfort, to enhance our status depending on the nature of the car, to provide us with a type of car that we like, the colour, the designs, the interior, and so on. So we have the two levels. The emphasis in this section is to outcompete the rivals in the marketplace. It's concerned with the physical features that distinguishes the product. For example, packaging, size, colour, texture, shape, design, special features, as I said earlier. Now, the core benefit of buying a camera is to record memories. The secondary level emphasises the physical attributes of the product. What does it look like? What's the weight? What design features has it got? The ease of use. It's the appearance, the feel, the reputation. Even the brand name could be a determinant of the second level. There are some features of, let's say, a camera that could be changed. It could be the colour, or it could be a redesigned screen with the instructions, or an easier way of taking pictures, or there may be supplementary ways in which the photographer can be helped in framing a picture, or in designing a particular shot, delivering a particular mood or feeling about a particular place. The camera may augment the ability of the photographer, or it may suggest ways. It may do this by on-screen suggestions, perhaps lining up the shot and so on. The augmented level includes all the intangible features of the product. Now, these make the product more attractive. These are all the intangible, the things that we can't touch. These are the image, the presentation of the product. The augmented level includes intangible features such as warranty, speed of delivery, financing arrangements, brand name, after-sales service. And there is some capacity for innovation here. It's possible to come up with financial arrangements for payment if it's a very expensive product that are innovative, that means that customers can pay over a certain period, or have flexi payments, or have some sort of payment arrangement that perhaps others have not got. That's an innovation. The speed of delivery, we can deliver it tomorrow, or we can deliver it next week, or whatever date and time you say. Now, that would be an innovation, and we're almost at that point now. So there are some opportunities for innovation right the way through the product, from the core, second level, and at the augmented level. And that's all we need to work out from this one. So let's leave it at that. Remember that any product, according to Kotler, will have 3 levels. We can view it on 3 levels. And there are some opportunities for innovation at all of the levels. Let's leave it there and say thank you for watching.